The Sarasota Opera is known for their fantastic productions, and this season is no exception. Joining me now is Stephanie Sundin, the stage director at the Sarasota Opera, to tell us all about their ongoing fall production of The Secret Marriage. Well, Stephanie, I had the pleasure of seeing that last week, and it's fabulous.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you. But before we start talking about the opera, you and I were talking briefly before we came on, and you have such a fascinating background. Would you mind sharing a little bit of that with our viewers?
So I was an opera singer for 25 years, and nationally and internationally, but also here in Sarasota. And when I retired from singing, I became a stage director, which I've been doing now for about 25 years. And I've had the pleasure of working in Sarasota as well as regional companies as a stage director. My husband, Victor Dorenzi, the maestro,
Yes.
has been the artistic director and principal conductor of Sarasota Opera over 40 years. So we've been involved in the opera in one way or another, together and separately, for over 40 years. And we're very glad to be with Sarasota Opera.
Wow, that's amazing. And as I said, I mean, what a dream career you've had. I mean,
Yes.
first singing and then now stage directing. I mean, it's, you know, it's a dream job, right?
It's a wonderful
Career,
job,
right?
absolutely.
Well, so the opera, why this particular opera? Since it's not so well known, I hadn't really heard of it prior to, you know, going to see it the other night.
To be honest with you, I hadn't either.
Oh gosh.
When Victor
okay.
asked me to direct it, I hadn't heard of it either. It's better known in Italy. There have been occasional performances of The Secret Marriage here in the States, but it's not a well-known piece. And I can only recommend it to everyone because it's a marvelous, funny comedy, delightful story, beautiful music. It's from the same era as Mozart, and actually the composer, Domenico Cimarosa, lived at the same time as Mozart.
Oh my gosh.
And his works were better regarded in that time period than were Mozart's.
So what would you say the music is like?
It's like Mozart.
Okay.
It's very similar. Very listenable, beautiful melodies, beautiful song, beautiful arias. It's a treasure. It really is a delightful piece. And our opening night audience really got the piece. I was so thrilled. They responded so positively and so beautifully to the piece.
Well, I mean, in addition to the singing, their performance, you know, they're just so real and engaged, and yes, made the audience laugh. I mean, it was great. I can't recommend it enough. But again, this is quite a diversion for you, I would think, directing a comedy. So has that been different than traditional operas?
Well, I'm helped by a wonderful cast. They all have a good sense. First of all, they of course know what all the words mean, and they can shape their, I've helped them shape their characters, and they do a wonderful job of keeping that going so we can follow the story about the secret marriage. And the audience knows from the beginning that the two people that are married secretly to each other are introduced to us at the very, very top of the opera. But the other four people in the story don't know about the secret marriage until the end of the opera.
Exactly. So it keeps you in suspense, and it's wonderful watching their interaction and how they have to maneuver the other characters. I don't want to give it away saying who they have to maneuver, but yeah.
Exactly. Well, there are a couple of wonderful twists and turns in the story that complicate the secret marriage, and you really wonder if this couple is going to survive their marriage.
Exactly. So what did you find most interesting about directing this group and these characters?
The fact that all six of them are extremely important to the plot. There isn't a minor character. There are only 6 characters in the opera. We have 2 supernumeraries who act as our servants, but they don't sing. So I'm talking about the other 6 people on stage. And it's so interesting. We couldn't lose any one of them to the plot. They're all extremely important to what's going to happen. Who falls in love with the wrong person? A couple of people fall in love with the wrong person. And working all of that out has been such fun. We've had such a good time. And again, their timing is very good. they have taken direction so beautifully. It's been a joy.
That's great. That's great. Now, I had the pleasure of interviewing your husband a while back, and I had expressed to him I had never been to an opera prior to, you know, a couple that I have seen since, before Secret Marriage. But I would recommend, if people aren't familiar with the opera, that this is a wonderful introduction.
Yes, I totally agree
Right.
with that. And something that's very important for people to know is that we have what are called surtitles. If you watch a foreign film, you see subtitles along the bottom of the
Okay.
screen. Ours are above the stage. You don't have to study Italian.
Right.
You don't have to know the story in
Yep.
advance. The story is there in our surtitles. And being drawn to the music and drawn to the story, it's a wonderful first opera. I think
It
that's a
is.
great idea.
Yep. Great. Well, thank you. And when does the show, tell our viewers where they can find out more information, and when the production runs through, please?
We have 3 more performances, November 8, 10, and 12. And you can go to sarasotaopera.org or call the box office.
Okay. All right. One more question. What's coming up next?
For me,
Yes.
I'm directing Madame Butterfly in the winter.
Ah, ha, ha.
And I'm really looking forward to that. I've directed it before, so
Wonderful.
I look forward to repeating that.
Great. Well, we'll have you back again. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Up next on Suncoast Fyi, Ron Soto from the Sarasota Downtown Merchants Group. So don't go anywhere.